Hello, welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network. I want to take time to thank Travis. Buckeye Targets down in lovely Idaho, scenic Idaho. If you're out there, stop by, say hi. And just want to thank him. And now I'm going to take time to thank whoever doesn't have the audio muted for the chat. Sorry. It wasn't me this time.
Can't be me. I'm not even in the chat yet.
It was the Canuck.
Oh, the Canuckian. He screwed up again.
Just remember, Confucius says better to screw up than screw down. You do less work that way.
I thought this was a podcast about reloading.
I'm not going to continue that line. We're going to go back to talking about Buckeye Targets.
There you go.
If you need steel targets, if you need paper targets, swing by, check out BuckeyeTargets.com. They are the preferred target supplier of the Reloading Podcast. And friends of the show. Great steel. I would show you, but unfortunately my camera has decided it doesn't want to play nice tonight. So you all get a reprieve from looking at my ugly mug. Yes, I know. Of course, the drawback is Jim's camera is the only one working. So,
yay! Y'all get to look at my pretty face.
They don't get to see you or me, just Jim. That is our gift to you.
Well, they get to see your picture, Trevor.
Do they? Is it working?
Yes.
I didn't think it was working. Oh,
yep.
Well.
Yep, it shows up.
That was the day of the Gopher apocalypse.
Oh, that was a beautiful story.
It was a great time. The best line from that day was when Jeff Reese says, "You got to come up here," and he called me up to the mound of the little Gopher town, and he said, "You remember the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan? All the body parts on the beach. It's just like that. Come up here. You got to see this."
Yay! Gopher parts, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you use to kill him?
17 HMR.
Ooh. They say that's like a flying buzzsaw.
It's amazing. It's so flat. You can smoke a Gopher with 100-yard zero easily out to 250. Just put it on the body and let it fly.
Oh, you savage bastard.
No, it's actually it's me being a good Samaritan and providing a community service for the farmers.
Exactly.
I agree. Exactly. Good on you, man. Good on you. Do it again.
Think of it that way. You're protecting the steak.
Mm-hmm.
So exactly. If steak breaks its legs, then steak is no good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That's a fact. You guys ought to see what prairie dogs do to the pasture lands out west, out in South Dakota. Oh, it is obscene what they do.
Oh, yeah. Just holes everywhere.
Yeah. So when you're not shooting gophers in the face, trademark, Matthew McClatchy, then you should shoot Buckeye Target steel or Buckeye Targets paper if you're trying to sight in your rifle. So, all right. Ooh, FP. You'll have to let us know how that is. FP Santos just said he's got a Savage 17 WSM. That's the new 17 from Winchester, 3,000 feet per second. That's supposed to be a little better than the HMR. So,
silliness,
right?
What's the bullet weight on that?
I don't even remember. It's got to be
Can't be much.
Oh, that'd be lethal on coyotes.
Oh yeah,
it goes in and
can't be much under 10 grains, and it probably isn't much more than 17 or 18 grains.
Well, now I got to research it.
Yeah, I don't have a computer up here handy. Just to use my iPad again.
20 to 25 grains, Jim.
Yep,
FP Santos. Just pop that up in the chat, and he's going to New Mexico to whack some dogs here soon.
Now that is a rimfire round, right?
That's correct.
That's not okay.
Yeah, they use a 27 caliber nail gun blank for the parent case.
Ooh, we're talking about overbore capacity.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Oh, did I see something funny the other day? Somebody took a 303 bullet and stuffed it in a 38 case. That was serious.
Yeah, all you got to do is neck it down.
Yep. Kind of makes me want to make one.
There was a guy that used to carry a Tokarev. This is somebody that Steve Koski knew, or Steve Koski told a story on Gun Dudes. And he would carry a Tokarev and no holster, stuffed in his pants. And he would pull the bullet from the Tokarev and actually jam in a 308 bullet. And he popped one in his knee one day.
Oh, my goodness.
Ruined your day.
Mexican carrying a Russian pistol.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
with homemade ammo of some kind of Frankenstein concoction. Because that 7.62 projectile, that would be the same as the 7.62 by 39 and the 303. It's not a 308 like 7.62 by 51 bullet.
Right.
One's a 311 and one's a 308, right?
Yep. Right. Although actually a 303 is actually 312, I want to say.
312, yeah.
313, 312, 313.
Something like that.
You guys have heard of the 256 Winchester, right?
No.
I don't think I have, no.
That's a 357 Magnum casing, neck down to 25 caliber.
Ooh.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a real popular round for a little while, but it never really caught on.
Yeah.
And it's a reloadable cartridge, obviously, because it uses 357 Magnum casing.
And what about the, there's a 10 millimeter neck down to 9 mil. Isn't that something Dillon, like 25 Dillon or something like that?
I think so. We should
I've never heard of such a thing.
We should do a Wildcat special, Mike.
Yes, we should.
You know what? We did get a suggestion in Reloading podcast group tonight from Hookem. Yeah, you, Hookem, the one we're going to flag. We got a pretty good suggestion. Since we're resetting everything, why don't we just simply separate bottleneck from straight wall case? Reloading.
I was planning on doing that.
Good deal.
So I've already got the outline going. So, but yeah, 9x25 Dillon is the
That's it.
Modified 10. So
apparently it was quite popular back in the day when open guns were first starting to appear in sports like IPSC, because it produced enough gas volume to really get the gun on the comp, as they say, to make the comp function.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I could see that from Mike.
It's silly. We want the guns to run flat, so we load the cases to beyond max pressures and powder charges.
Exactly.
Also, the more gas you put through the comp, the better the comp works. So,
right.
I used to load my 9mm major rounds with shotgun powder, and you basically just fill the case up, scrape off the top, and jam the bullet on.
That's awesome.
It was 7.4 and 7.6 grains of shotgun powder in a 9mm case, depending on which powder I was using.
My goodness. I
know, cray. You're driving a 9mm at 357 Magnum velocities.
Well, this is not published loads, I would assume.
No.
Not that any. They're published, yes, but not by any responsible manufacturer.
They're obviously, you're not part of that august company.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're published among IPSC open shooters.
I've done that at 357 Magnum under my 200 grain bullets. With I can't remember if it was Unique or 2400. But anyway, I literally filled the case heaping full and stuffed a bullet down on top of it. And when I fired that out of my Thompson Center Contender, it felt like a 44 Magnum going off.
Nice.
I think it was Unique, but I could be wrong.
That could be fun.
I know Unique would create a hell of a lot harder charge than 2400.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, well, anyway. We'll have to do a show about Wildcats, so send in your suggestions. But there's a couple more people we need to thank. So we need to thank Sean and the gang over at Firearms Radio Network for letting us continue to do this week after week. Those lucky bastards, or unlucky bastards, depending on how you want to look at it, are at SHOT Show. And sorry, Trevor, you haven't. Your curse hasn't hit any of them yet.
Give it time. I mean, you don't get sick at range immediate day at the range, right? It's after a day or two of walking the floor.
Yep.
Yeah. If I get one more text from Jeff Reese or my buddy Ed, or with pictures of them doing Vegas type stuff with full autos, I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Just there is quite a few of the cohorts down there.
There is. There's a Canadian contingent. There's somebody there from New Shooter Canada. There's somebody there from the Canadian Patriot podcast. And then just other people that I know that work at Canadian stores. Freedom Ventures is there. Cabela's is there. Well, one of my friends that works for Cabela's here in Canada, the corporate end. And then, of course, Calgary Shooting Center. If you don't shop there, you're a communist. They're there.
Oh, yeah.
Bastards. Someday.
Yeah. Hopefully next year.
Mm.
So. Yeah, I know. But, so I also want to take time to thank Jake and Ryan over at Patriot Patch Company. They put together awesome patches. And make sure you stop by, check out the new stuff. They're always launching new stuff. So it's always a great time. Check it out. If you want to get the patch of the month and support the show, you can go to firearmsradio.tv/pledge-reloading-podcast and sign up for the patch of the month level there and get your patch of the month and support the show at the same time. So what else do you get? Oh, you get entered into the equipment drawings when we get done testing equipment that we use the Patreon money to get. We're going to turn around and give it away. We already gave away a RCBS scale. We've got our CBS kit that we're going to break down and give away. We've got some other stuff to give away. So, in fact, next week we're going to be doing the drawing for the level from Wheeler. So somebody's going to have an easier time mounting scopes.
That's a good tool.
Yes, it is. So, Jim, you been shooting yet?
No.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, I did get slowed down a tad. But believe it or not, there's grumblings going on inside my head saying it's about time. And my wife even said to me today, we were driving past a local range, excuse me, called Kids Place.
I thought you were taking meds for that.
Yeah, that too. But anyway, she says, Jim, you ought to call Kevin. You ought to go shooting. I know you miss it. She's right. I do. I miss it like my left hand. But anyway, I haven't really been doing much of anything, but I'm actually going to start working in the garage to get the garage clear so I can start building my bench. Assembling my bench, I should say. Anyway, I guess I'm still on the air. Anyway, sound like somebody fired a dart gun.
Mike is doing something.
Airsoft.
Airsoft.
Sounds good. Figured. Dart gun. But anyway, so the only thing I've done here lately is this podcast, obviously. But the other thing I did do yesterday, I think it was download new copies of NRA magazines, American Rifleman, America's First Freedom, American Hunter, and Shooting Illustrated. I have them here on my iPad. I've been reading them a little bit today. And, of course, I stay current on the issues of the publications from Wolf Publishing, Handloader, Rifle, and Successful Hunter. It's interesting. Once in a while, they do have a pretty good reloading story in Successful Hunter.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, because you guys are obviously, like Abel Bermudez said today or yesterday, he was really thrilled about being able to use his reloads to take game. And I think it's great. I think it's absolutely great.
Yeah, we talked about that before on this show and on Slamfire, getting out there and taking an animal with a piece of ammunition that you made yourself. It just feels a little bit more of an accomplishment than taking something off the shelf, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I've yet to do it, but I was out this fall bear hunting with my M1 Garand, and the ammo in there I rolled myself. So I'll be trying that again this spring.
What were you using? What was your data?
Oh, geez. 4064 powder and a 150
Right.
grain soft point bullet with a Winchester case. I don't know the powder charge off the top of my head. I'd have to
No,
look
I
it
wouldn't
up.
expect that. I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect that. You have any
Yeah.
idea what the velocity would have been?
Not a clue. I never did chronograph it. I just went with some published data that would be safe for the op rod with the factory gas plug and sighted it in. That was it.
Oh, that's right. That's why you use a standard military ball weight bullet rather than going with something heavier like a 180 grain for bear.
Yeah. The Bears in
No,
New
you're
Brunswick.
using a Garand. That makes sense.
Yeah. I was using a Garand until it started to get dark early and I couldn't see the sights. So then I switched to my Savage with a scope. And that also was my own ammo. Winchester Brass 165 grain Hornady SST on top of probably also 4064.
Probably. That's a good odd 6 powder.
Yeah. And we had a guest on one time who recommended that I try it with my 223. And he said it'd be the most accurate load I put through my 223. And I almost owed him $100. It was close, but I think with a bit more tweaking, it might very well be. So in the springtime, I'm looking forward to getting out and trying that again.
Sounds like a winner.
I'm
hoping to take my 357 and my 280 and go do some pig hunting some of these days.
Oh, yeah.
Well, javelina, feral pigs.
That'd be awesome.
That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I have gotten some bunnies with shot shells I've hand loaded. So,
definitely.
So.
Yeah.
I got a grouse, or not a grouse. I got a pheasant. When I went pheasant hunting on the 27th, the one and only pheasant that I shot. Well, Andy and I both connected at the same time, but the other one I shot was with my my hand loads. I forgot about that.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Tasty bird.
Oh yeah.
Well, you stop and think. Mike mentioned rabbits. Think about knocking the head off of a squirrel or a rabbit with a 357. You don't waste any meat.
No, you don't. You do not.
Or if you decide to do it from a little longer range with a 308 or 30-06.
Oh, that's a little bit of that's definitely overkill. 30-06 or on a rabbit. That's a bit overkill.
Well, you shoot them in the head. They got that nice big eye. It makes a great target.
Yep, dead is dead. There ain't no two ways about that.
And it's great for a nice sunny day. Now it's more entertaining and a little more sporting to use the 22, but that's going to be my goal for next fall is to load up some 22 rounds and go after some squirrels with the 22. So. Yeah, that's kind of. So, Trevor, what you been up to?
I actually got some loading done. I was doing some cleanup downstairs and preparing some of the match materials for SummerSlam, that big level 3 that I put on every year here at my club. And once I got the basement cleaned up, I was looking at my press and it was looking kind of lonely. So I did some 9mm 125 grain X metal coated bullets that I get for my sponsor. I also got my sponsorship bullets for 2018. So I separated that I'm a dealer for that company and I'm sponsored by that company. So when they allow me to have product as part of my sponsorship deal, I literally just take it off my own shelf, which is awesome. I don't have to wait for it to come in the mail. So every month when I update my inventory for them, I'll just include my own sponsorship bullets in my next inventory. So last year I shot 125 grain, not because I wanted to, but because when the initial order arrived, Muffin was a little careless with the Bobcat and the pallet, and he may have crushed 4,000 or 4 boxes of 1,125 grain. They spilled all over the truck and all over the ground. So we picked them all up, and rather than having to count them all and them send me new boxes, I said, look, I'll just take these for this year's sponsorship. So that's why I ended up shooting 125 grain. So now that they're almost all gone, literally just a couple of hundred left. I'm going to. They make two different types of 147. They make a 147 flat point, which would be like, basically to simulate a jacketed hollow point bullet. Same profile. And they make a 147 grain round nose. So I'm going to switch to that this year and give that a go and see how they work in my 1911s, which is I've got that's primarily what I'll be loading for. I'll throw the same ammo through my other 9mm pistols, but I'll tailor the load specifically for IPSC in my STI Trojan.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You run 9mm ammo in a 1911?
Do I ever? 10-round mags. It's a cheater gun. It's a competition pistol.
That is heresy.
Sacrilege. I know. It's amazing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Some of those poor folks out there, their minds are going to blow up when they realize, I've got 1911 here at the house, and it's like, I only shoot 230. Well, 200 grain. 200 grain is not my one cutters. But it's like 9mm in a 1911 frame? Oh,
I know. It's awful. Like, you have to remember.
I'm a cardiac patient. You don't give me shocks like that.
Well, Jim, everyone knows I hate the 1911. So
yeah, right.
If I'm going to run one, I might as well be completely, just be wrong, completely wrong, and do it in 9mm, right? So you take the 9 versus 45, the 45 man stopper, and of course, when you think 45, you think 1911. So yeah, I shoot 1911, but I shoot it in 9mm. So how's that for your 9 versus 45 debate? Yeah,
I love stirring up shit. I do.
I hadn't noticed, and
no,
I hadn't noticed because it's so natural. Because I do it as well, so I can't tell when somebody else is doing it. It just seems like the thing to do.
Yep.
In the classic division in IPSC, you could either shoot 45 with 8 rounds in the gun and score major, or you can shoot 9mm with 10 rounds in the gun and score minor. So I choose to shoot the minor division. So I get 10 rounds because all my other IPSC pistols are 10 rounds. So I don't have to rethink how I'm going to tackle a stage and where I'm going to change my mags and stuff. And 9mm brass, I can't be bothered to bend over and pick up. If I was shooting 45, then I'd have to be picking up my brass, and I can't be bothered. Getting too old for picking up brass. I'll pick up my practice brass, but when I go to a match, I can't be bothered to pick up 9mm brass. It's too cheap.
Well, not only that, but when you're at the, in cases like that, you can't guarantee that you're going to be able to get your brass back unless you're doing some sort of color coding, and then you're going to be fishing. So it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, we color code at the range. The guys that I used to shoot with when I first started, everybody was shooting 40, and everybody was shooting a Glock 35. And you knew if you picked up green, it belonged to Ronnie. If you picked up red, it belonged to Harold. If you picked up 2 stripes of blue, one on either side of the primer, it was mine. So at the end of a practice day or at the end of a match, we'd throw it all in a big sifter, and then red in one corner, green in another corner. Guy takes his own brass, go home.
Yeah.
But and I mean, same thing when we go to other matches. There's guys that like a level 2 match and weekend match in New Brunswick with 10, 15 guys or whatever. Same thing. We'll pick up all the brass at the end of the day and throw it on the table, and you just dig through and grab your own. If it's 9mm, I mean, it don't matter.
Well, look at that.
Well, hello there.
Evening.
What's up, gentlemen?
Just picking on Jim.
Okay. I'm not too late?
No, never too late.
Nobody said you're welcome.
Yeah. Other than that, Mike, just the other stuff, podcasting with Slamfire, and I was on a new podcast that's going to come out soon called Tactical Pay Radio, and the host name is Brett, and the show is out of Houston, Texas. And I was a guest on episode number 4. They're going to do it by season, and I don't know if they're going to release all the episodes at once or if for a whole season, kind of like a Netflix thing, or if they're going to start to do them the way that we traditionally do our podcast. We put them out every week. Wasn't sure about that, but Brett, super nice guy, excellent host. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of guests they have and the topics they cover. But the show seems to be geared towards the industry, and they really want to talk about developments in the industry and products and people who work in the industry, stuff like that is the impression I got of where this show is going to fit in the grand scheme of things. And then other than that, just working at the gunsmith again. School's canceled today in Kanekistan due to a storm. So my truck's still in the shop. They gave me a loaner, big Silverado 4-wheel drive. So storm, no storm, I went in and put in almost a full day at the gunsmith. So
nice.
Yeah. I got to really pack the hours in today rather than just my usual 3 hours after work.
What are you doing at the gunsmith?
Whatever he tells me to.
Oh, you're apprenticing yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of the time, Jim, I'm on the polishing wheel. I'm doing a lot of refinishing work, so I'll disassemble the firearms, and I will use polishing compound on the wheels, starting at 140 grit, going all the way up to 555 sometimes, depending on what the customer wants for a finish. So helping prepare guns for hot bluing, Cerakoting, parkerizing, rust bluing, whatever they want done, and then I help reassemble guns. Yep, pricing items, putting them on the shelf, stuff like that.
Sounds like
we got in a whack of 1911 tuning kits, because we want to see if we can clean up and tune up some of the Norinco 1911s that come in and sell them at a bit more of a premium. We'll do trigger jobs. We'll install proper sights with the Novak dovetails, and because the Norinco sights are a kind of a weak spot on that platform, and the dovetail is not a standard dovetail like a Dawson or a Novak. It's proprietary to Norinco. So we put it on the lathe and cut proper dovetails and fit proper sights. And after we tune them all up and polish them all up, we'll throw them in the bluing tank or Cerakote them or whatever.
Wait a minute. You did it again. You're going to tell me that you cut slots for dovetails on 1911 slides on a lathe?
Lathe? No. Mill machine. A milling machine.
That's kind of how it came out, Trevor.
Yeah. Glad he caught that. Yeah. No, I'd like to. How is that even possible? You can't even cut it.
It is possible, but
really?
It's not easily done. You put a milling cutter in the lathe headstock.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not the way we're doing it.
Yeah.
Good. Please continue.
That's about it. He's expanding the shop all the time. He's a Browning dealer, Savage dealer. His Ruger order came in yesterday. I opened the box to a Ruger precision rifle. Literally heard angels sing. It was something to behold. And I've been working there now, Jim, since early December, and I haven't received a paycheck yet.
Buddy, I'm jealous.
I just put it on my tab. I'll take one of these and one of these, and we got to get this done. And we're currently, I'm in the middle of restoring 2 Winchester Wingmaster 870s. So one is going to be an original classic upland kind of hunting type configuration, and the other one's going to be a vintage old school 870 police clone. So
did you say Winchester 870?
I did. Geez, what's wrong with me today? Holy God. Thank you, Jim.
God almighty. I don't do shotguns, and I caught that one.
I'm tired, man.
God almighty.
Yeah. 2 Winchester.
This is the third heresy tonight.
I know.
This is the third heresy for tonight.
So,
Trevor.
yeah, we were missing an actual Wingmaster barrel, and then I located a Wingmaster barrel, but it didn't have a rib on it, a rail,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, rib. And so we actually pulled the trigger and bought a brand new Remington Wingmaster barrel. So because the finishing work, we were going to take an express barrel and turn it into a Wingmaster barrel, which meant removing all the tool marks, polish it to a high gloss finish. The hours on the polishing wheel were just not worth it. So we just called up where do we get it? I don't know which distributor we got it from, but anyway. So this will be a vintage Wingmaster receiver, vintage unused Wingmaster wooden furniture, and a brand new, newly manufactured Wingmaster barrel. So the furniture is set. I got it on eBay. It looks like it was taken off of the gun and never used. It's brand new. There's not a mark on it. It has the checker pattern of the old ones from the 60s or 70s. So all we'll do with this one is polish the receiver to a high gloss and then throw it in the hot bluing tank. The other one, somebody had modified it for like a tactical shotgun. They drilled the receiver to put a rail on it. They put a jumbo safety on it. We're going to fill those holes with the little plug screws. We're going to put the original safety back in there, and then polish the receiver and, of course, the pump. And we'll parkerize that one because some of the police Wingmasters had a matte finish. The wood that's coming, I've got a Wingmaster in the mail right now, and the wood furniture that's on it is the same style as the old Wingmaster police shotgun. So we're going to cut the barrel down to 18 inches. The police ones were a cylinder bore, not threaded, but we're going to thread this one and chop it, reinstall the bead, thread it, and just parkerize it. It's a lot faster. Parkerizing is very, very quick as opposed to hot bluing.
Thread it first for a choke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
sounds interesting.
Yeah. So I'll keep you guys up to date on that. There'll be pictures all over the place. Plus the most of the work that we do there, I put on Instagram. So.
Now I know why you haven't gotten a paycheck.
Yeah, I just keep dumping it back in, and then 2 Tanfoglio limited custom pistols came through the door. I immediately picked the best one, the best mags, put it in the box in the back room, said that's mine. We'll work it out later, but that's mine. The other one went under the counter.
At this rate, you won't get a paycheck for 5 years.
Yeah, really. I mean, I broke Adriel's 1911. That's a story for another day. So we ordered one at the shop, and so the last couple of weeks have gone to pay for that. So probably won't break this one, but I'm not making any promises.
So, Jason, you should go get your little toy that makes the angels sing and show the jealous Canadian.
Oh, I got to put Jason on full screen for that.
You want me to go get it?
Oh, if you can.
Yes, please.
Sure.
Please.
And while he's doing that, we'll cover some of the chat conversations. So, Steve Crawford was telling about his 300 mag, 2-inch wound channel on his elk. Great.
Wow.
From him. And then he said, well, I'm out talking about 9mm in a 1911 frame. That's just wrong. So Jim Madah says, too cold and wet to play outdoors lately, so I bought a crossbow pistol to shoot in the house.
Nice.
That's why I have airsoft all over the place. On the brass conversation, Russ Carr says, Russ, the big bore, says, I pick up everything. It's mine. And then he takes off running. So Steve Crawford, I guess he decided to stick around after all, says what he does is he's got a 45 Colt. He takes hot glue gun bullets, drills out the primer pockets, uses Magnum primers, no powder, and then he's shooting his archery target on the wall. So, hey, Steve, by the way, those orange foamy earplugs were great. Try those. And then Jim said he's got some of the plastic cases and bullets from Spear that are primer powered. Hasn't used them. Russ has got some of those. I want to get some. He said, and then JH586SW said, I saw a guy on YouTube shooting candy out his 9mm in 1911. Primers only. He was laughing like a kid. Peanut M&Ms, gummy bears, and jelly beans. How'd you like to clean those up? So, and then Tony said new Pez dispenser. That could be fun. FP Santos asked a question. He says, looking to buy a 6.5 Creedmoor brass. Notice Lapua offers small and large primer pockets. Are the recipes the same for powder charges? I would think so, since everything else that has that option uses the same powder charges.
The idea behind the small primer is to take and give more consistent ignition.
Yeah, that's like the
308 Palma.
Yeah, that's it.
It makes sense to me.
Yep.
All right, what do you got, Jason?
6.5 Creedmoor, baby.
Oh,
You
it's a
dog,
Ruger
you.
Precision.
You dog, you.
The
How
gunsmith.
long is that barrel?
22, 20, 20.
I don't remember
20.
now. I want to say it was 24.
Oh, really? I thought they only came in 20. My gunsmith was like, "What's with everybody being so, hot and bothered with the 6.5 Creedmoor? Is this the new hipster round? People are going to say I shot 6.5 Creedmoor before it was cool."
Yeah, it looks like 24, Trevor's 25 and change with the brake.
Nice. Yeah, and they come with a brake from the factory now. The first generation didn't.
This is my first rifle with a brake.
Oh, really? They took a jump in price up here. I don't know about you guys, but we were getting them for 13. Now they're like 17.
That's demand driving that price.
Yeah.
So, Jason, what you been up to?
Working. Nothing gun related whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you just left home. You left work and came here.
He did.
Thank you. Seriously, thank you. It's nice. It would be nice to stop along the way and get your supper. But you see, you've got looks like iced tea in your glass.
I knew I forgot something.
I'm drinking
probably rum.
You drinking iced tea? A Long Island iced tea?
Exactly.
Is it a Long Island iced tea?
No, it's whiskey iced tea.
Ah.
You part Canadian, Jason.
You guys like whiskey?
Oh, we invented whiskey. Come on now. Be nice.
Then I guess I am, eh?
Oh, that was lame.
No, that was
with a surfer accent.
I don't know. I grew up drinking Canadian Club, so
nice.
Ooh, that's swill.
Nah,
you guys need to try some Kraken.
Oh, I love Kraken.
That's good stuff.
It sneaks up on you, though. I got to tell you, sneaks up on you.
Yeah, it does. I know my limit, and you guys will never see it because I won't do it on the air again.
Again.
No, I 104'd it like you did.
Oh. We all need a little 104 once in a while. Except for Toby. Toby 104 is too much.
Yeah. Don't mind me. I just knocked something on the floor. Something I picked up from one of the admins in the reloading room. A Lyman Big Dipper.
Oh, okay. I know exactly where you got it from.
Yep. So that is going to be a giveaway.
Good. As I recall, that item was brand new, wasn't it?
Yep.
Excellent choice.
All nice and shiny. So
we'll
get it a nice lead coating before we give it away, though.
That's a top dipping pot. Am I correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Quick, is just kind of a brief introduction to casting. We had a question about it. So, what is casting actually?
Jason, isn't that what they do out there in Hollywood? Cast for people for certain roles?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
On couches?
No, that's psychotics to do that. I mean, psychiatrists to do that. Jason, I'm sorry, Trevor, what is casting to you? Oh, Trevor's muted himself. Never mind. Anyway.
Oh, geez. Sorry, Jim. I've been trying to... You guys have it all wrong. casting has nothing to do with California or couches. It's when you break a limb and they wrap it in like a plaster Paris thing and it hardens into a cast.
Damn you, Trevor.
Yeah.
Leave it to the Canuckie to come up with something non-original.
Casting is when you melt an alloy and pour it into a mold and it takes on the shape of that mold.
Excellent. So the main thing that we would cast would be bullets, projectiles, pills, bullets.
Bullets. Bullets.
Bullet.
Got a bunch of them downstairs that I need to load up after I assemble my bench.
You're going to get that done sometime in 2018?
Yes, I am. I could feel the determination flowing.
Are you sure it's not diarrhea?
Something's flowing.
Boy, if it is, this couch is going to be nasty. Shut up, Trevor. That was a good one.
All right. So, casting bullets. So, what do I need to cast? Can I grab a lighter or a propane torch?
No.
Okay.
First thing you want to do is get the book, the Lyman Handbook on Casting.
Exactly. And read it.
No, correction. I beg to differ with you. You don't merely read it, you study it.
Okay. But you just
Sorry.
First and then study it.
Yeah.
Because if you just study it, I mean, you could literally just hold it and look at it.
You have to open the cover and study the contents therein. Do you need any further explanation, Mr. Hair Splitter?
That's what happened to Jason.
Oh, my.
Wow.
He was just sitting there minding his own business and everything.
Yeah. You wanted to go there, huh, Mike?
It's such a...
You guys sure you aren't feeding me
hair
the rum?
growing out of your forehead? I'm sure you're just like once removed from a gorilla or something.
I can't comment on that. We're on public radio. Oh, and Tony Kennedy did get the casting couch joke, so there you go.
Okay, well, evidently he hasn't associated with people from California enough.
JH586SW said, "Put it under your pillow and learn by osmosis." There you go. So.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so we need the manual. That's obvious. And then we need some sort of way to melt the lead. Can we fabricate?
Here's the old man talking. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I'm just we're going to seriously break into this later. After we go through the metallic reloading, we're going to, and probably after the shot shell, we're actually going to do another casting series, but this is kind of quick overview. So,
okay.
So actually I would say probably the first thing is the manual. The second thing is some protective equipment.
Yes.
Well,
respirator.
Yeah, definitely. Some sort of respirator system. We had an argument in one of the groups about whether by heating up lead and melting, for casting, if you actually were breathing in lead vapors or not. And I don't know. There was people that say you do, some say you don't.
Well, whether casting causes you to do that, there is science to back up the fact that the fastest and most effective way to get lead poisoning is through vaporized lead.
Yep.
So we're melting lead. What kind of fumes are coming off of there? And is it vaporized lead that's coming off of there? I mean, Masada Ayub told us about a story about someone who got acute lead poisoning from spending too much time at an indoor range with poor ventilation and any respirator. Mm-hmm. And he died within a day or two. So it's acute lead poisoning is a thing. And I'm sure, he was giving us the absolute worst case scenario in a rare case, but I mean, we're melting lead and there's going to be fumes. Let's not split hairs. Let's assume that those fumes have vaporized lead in them and that they're poisoning us, and do everything we can to avoid them. I mean, we're not working with vitamin C here, kids. We're melting lead, a heavy metal. And look at the little bit of reloading that I do and the little bit of casting that I did, and my lead levels were high. Yep. So
exactly.
And that was shoot indoor, Trevor?
Like 3 times in my life.
Okay.
So
maybe it's the pencils you keep sticking in your mouth while you're at work.
That's actually graphite, but thanks for your concern.
I knew that.
You got graphite poisoning.
Yeah.
I stabbed somebody with a pencil in elementary school, and the teacher looked at me and said, "You're not going to get a lead poisoning. It's not lead."
Yeah.
And I was devastated over that. So
shucks darn. So then you stabbed him.
No, I got sent to the office before I could stab him. So
so yeah. So I mean, assume it's bad for you, and take precautions. Get a well ventilated area, ventilation system, a respirator, outdoors with a fan. And
you want the fan to blow sideways, not in front of you, not behind you.
Yep.
I did not know that, Jim. I used to try and put the fan behind me to blow the fumes away from me.
Well, the idea is your body creates a negative pressure zone right immediately in front of you.
And it'll suck it towards you. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Science. All right, cool. I won't do any casting until I go back and get retested.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let's see if it's coming. I haven't done any shooting to speak of. I haven't. I've reloaded once since I had my lead tested. So, and someone told me, maybe you guys have heard this before, vitamin C will leach the lead out of your system. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't, but anything's possible.
Trevor, I do have a suggestion for you. I'm sorry, Jason. Forgive me. Go ahead, Jason.
You should be sorry.
Look at him. Yes, Jason.
I just said, I always heard whiskey helps flush the lead out.
I wish I had apologized.
Well, obviously the guy who told me vitamin C doesn't like me as much as you do. I'm going to take your advice. I wish I was on camera. I got a 66 ounce, or no, I got one of those Texas Mickeys of Canadian Club right next to me. By the time I'm done this, I'll either be lead free or dead.
There you go. I was going to suggest that you consider reloading with a latex glove on, Trevor.
Oh yeah, that's all
with lead bullets.
Yeah, that's all things. I had a box. I used them all, and then just didn't buy another box. Those cool black ones too,
Those are nice.
So yeah, and I mean, I used to handle a lot of lead during. Well, I mean, I did some casting, and then I did a lot of powder coating. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a known fact that the powder that we use contains some lead in it. It's a known fact that the primers are made from a mixture called lead stiphanate.
Yep. Yeah, my basement is just completely. My basement floor is just covered in spent primers. That whole basement is probably actually. And you know what, guys? My wife just had her lead tested. We're waiting on the results because we want to also rule out our water source. So she doesn't shoot, she doesn't reload. There's no reason for her lead to be high. So if her lead is high, then we've got to get our water checked.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, one of the listeners is asking if you ever got your levels tested.
Not lately. Not since I got retired out of the military. Good question. Thank you for your concern, whoever you are.
He doesn't care.
I was going to say, it's probably a follow-up joke in there, Jim.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll let you guys have that one. No, I was actually walking in and among my reloading gear and stuff like that today, and it's like I miss it so bad. So I did buy some tools today to start remodeling the inside of the garage a little bit, so I can get my gear out from under all the belongings.
Oh, is your garage still full of your stuff?
Yes, it is to this minute. We've hardly lifted a finger. It's just been too cold and miserable down here. But now it's like today was 66 degrees. I actually have a flannel shirt on, same one I got on now. I was like, oh my God, it's muggy.
It's cold down there. It's cold. Hold my beer and watch this. I'll show you cold. Come up to Canada.
No, I've been up there when it's cold. You guys got sub-zero crap up there. You keep that shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, I've been around some.
I'm sorry,
Jason,
go ahead.
What'd you say, Jason?
I thought you moved away from Pennsylvania for the warmer weather.
Well, we had snow for 5 days. 5 days. 1, 2, 3, count them. You know, you can count that high, right?
Usually.
Anyway, yeah, unless you drink more of that CC. Anyway, no, it's like, hey, what the heck? No, you know, it's great. It really is. Next thing you know, we'll be fighting mosquitoes.
Right.
We had 5 days without snow.
I'm not jealous of you.
There's 2 seasons up here, Jim. Construction and hockey.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they had in Port Allegany, Pennsylvania. 2 seasons, the 4th of July and winter.
So, Mikey, did we talk about the tools?
No.
We talked about some safety precautions.
Yep.
Maybe we should get back to.
We digressed.
Yeah. What? How do we turn that lead ingot into the liquidy stuff?
With heat.
Fire.
Yep. So lots of different ways you can do that. The most common is with a melting pot of some sort, a casting pot. Pretty much all the major manufacturers in reloading make them. Some are a bottom pour. Some of them you have to ladle it out.
Lame. I did that once. That's for hobos.
So what you're going to pour them into is you're going to pour them into a mold. Typically aluminum. Some are cast iron. Some are regular steel alloy. You know, different varying grades, different varying qualities. Brass.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Brass molds are good molds.
They are heavy.
Heavy like iron.
Cool.
So, a couple other things for safety. A face shield. Don't just get the goggles. Get the face.
Oh, yeah. That's right, eh? Because splashy.
Yep.
Shorts, tank top.
Yeah. And flip them.
You're so good about admitting that, Jason. This is the guy that posted a picture in the reloading room a few years ago of his own foot where he had a spatter between his toes and on his kneecap.
Oh, dude. How bad did that burn?
Yeah, wasn't
all the way
terrible.
It wasn't terrible. All right.
I might have had
a tinsel fairy has gotten me
so I don't know.
Well, we got to limber up for the session, Jason.
Yep. Deaden the nerve somehow.
But I did stop and take a picture of it before peeling it off my skin, so that should tell you something.
Yeah, it tells me a lot.
Dedicated to teaching is what it is.
Right.
Dedicated to teaching. Either that or he's a total dumbass, and I don't think that for a minute.
Usually,
you've told me that.
I have, but I've never told you I never believed it.
Oh, he just said he doesn't think it for a minute. It's usually an hour or two at a time.
Love you too, Mikey. Hey guys, I'm gonna have to take in the run myself an extension cord here. I'm down to 10% on my battery. I'm going to mute myself. All right.
Finally,
I'll be back. I'll be back shortly.
Very quick. While he's gone, let's finish.
Well, I do have to run in 5, so with or without him.
Yeah. So, and like I said, we'll cover this a heck of a lot better in time. So, But, safety equipment, your molds, your pot, and realistically, if you have a ladle of some sort, no, you can't use a plastic ladle. One of the key things you're going to need is a thermometer that goes over 700 Fahrenheit. So, you're going to need that to be able to measure temperature, because you want consistent temperature for your lead. Otherwise, if you don't get the lead to a consistent temperature and keep it at a consistent temperature, your bullets aren't going to turn out well. So, there's all sorts of different things like preheating the molds, not preheating the molds, putting all sorts of different things on them. Excuse me. And there's all different intricacies from different people, but we'll go into those later. We just kind of wanted to go over it quick, kind of give just an intro. But the basic premise is you heat the lead to 700 or just under 700 degrees to 700 degrees. And then you pour it into your molds. And then once it cools a bit, you open up the mold, tap the bullets out. You can put them onto a towel. A lot of people water quench them because it starts to change the lead back, the composition of the lead back to harder, because when you heat it up, it actually goes softer than what its Bernal scale is. And we'll talk about what a Bernal scale is too. So, but different things there. There's all sorts of different molds, all different calibers, all sorts of different things. So, sorry about that. No, not yet. I still haven't gotten it. So, but there's quite a bit in the reloading room about casting. We've done some shows on it in the past. You can look back through the archives. Also, there's a Facebook group, Cast Bullets and Bullet Casting. Very good. And then there's also some chat groups and stuff out there on the web. So there's lots of resources you can find. And that's kind of all of that. So, and we're getting towards the end of our hour that we like to shoot for. So, where'd Jim go?
Right, I'm here.
Okay. So, so they're having a conversation about snow in the chat. FP Santos, who lives in Vegas, wants to know what snow is. And then Big Lord said that stuff on old TVs at night.
Oh, geez.
Derek, that's a good idea. He said, have a beer, Mike. It'll clear your throat. It's true. I wasn't coughing when I was drinking the beer. So, I want to thank everybody who swings by firearmsradio.tv/reloading-podcast. Hit the Brownells and the Amazon links. We thank you for that. Great way. If you're shopping there anyway, helps out the show, helps out the network. Somebody's got to get back to work. So, yeah. Well, thanks for jumping on and hanging out, Calroy. We appreciate it. So, want to take time to thank everybody who joins us live. Want to thank everybody who stops by the Reloading Podcast page, the Reloading Podcast group on Facebook. Great things to do. So, send us an email, reloadingpodcast@gmail.com. Send us a text or a voicemail, 608-467-0308. Get a hold of us all there. So, want to thank all of our Patreons. That group is growing numerous, and we are awesome to be able to say that we kind of really have quite a few, so we're not going to read everybody's name anymore, but they will be all in the show notes. So if you want to join that illustrious group, it's firearmsradio.tv/pledge-reloading-podcast. And so You want to keep that brass shiny. Trevor,
nobody's going to do his line. Keep your powder dry.
Jason's doing his.
Trevor, you can't keep that order up. You need to write that down.
Yep.
Mike, Trevor, Jason.
Just don't put it on the screen for me to read, because I'll end up saying I'm Ron Burgundy.
Some night we will. All right. So keep that brass shiny.
What?
Brass
prep sucks.
Oh, I thought it was after Jason. Brass prep sucks.
Keep your powder dry.
I didn't even do the other guy's line. I did Jason's line. Oh my God.
Aim small, miss small.
And squeeze. Don't yank that trigger.
Thanks, everyone.
Night, guys.
Weezer.